Now I should be on YouTube as well, hopefully. Yeah, it's live on YouTube. Hey, hey. I thought it was live again earlier. I thought it was live because I pressed the start button. Somehow it wasn't started on YouTube. Maybe it was. I don't know exactly. Anyway, this is where we've got so far. I got a project, a multi-project so far. One we've joined one with blog. There'll be more of them. The CV itself, which right now it's not really working because there's nothing into it. And now I need to deal with more stuff, either about the blog or not. In this process, by the way, I know you're following some my steps somehow, and you're into Remix, right? At the moment.
Yes, I'm in Remix.
Okay. And then after Remix, you should already have set up a similar structure with NXLI, right? And Next.js.
Yeah, I did that too.
So probably your next thing would be to to work on this blog after you finish the API, so you can get with it into a better position, I would say. Right? Because this blog so far has titles and descriptions and the link, which so far that's not exactly what I want a funnel from it. So I'll continue working a bit on this blog. As soon as I can present some data, I'll focus more on the other projects and enhance the blog along the way. So far for me, the blog only needs to hold data and look nice later. So I'll let you deal with Remix. If you get stuck into some places, just let me know. And I'm gonna continue a bit on this one.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Dum, dum, dum. Yeah, that's switch from here to here. So that means I got this one that says slug, and I could create an anchor that I don't have yet an anchor here, so I'm just gonna do probably A. Since A is a link, should work. However, maybe Next.js has a link. I'm gonna try first leave this one. So the href would be slug, almost, and probably not just slug. However, let's just give it slug, or with a slash in front of it, right? Okay, and then the name could be, let's give it slug again, and maybe later on I'll do something else. Okay. So now, not this one, by my local host, which is this one. What's my local host now? Here. Now I can see a link. And if I click on this link, I'm taken to a page that says, yay, I don't know anything about this. That's cool. Because I know stuff about... I know stuff about Next.js that is different than Remix. So how would I do that? I got a blog and I got pages and I need to capture everything. Probably I need to do square brackets, dot, 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 and some name here, path or slug, like that. Now, is my blog still working? Actually, it does. Okay. And if I remove that, no, it doesn't. So it does for every other page, it doesn't for index. That's simple. Copy paste index. Done. Okay, so now it works for index and it works for slug as well. Now both of them have the same content, and that's kind of a problem because they repeat. Now, since they repeat, I might extract them into their own stuff. So in libs UI, I'm tempted to create a template folder here. Okay. And then another one, atom. And then another one, molecule. And then probably another one, organism. Okay. Now aside template, I'm gonna create a new file, .git keep, and then this git keep, I'm gonna paste it into organism, into molecule, and into, well, I don't need it into atom, because into atom, I'm gonna just move those three, move, then start registry and pricing table into atom as well, move, yay. Now this index needs to do lib, well, one is already updated, why are the other ones not? And now I got 2 times atom somewhere. Yay, almost. Why is text not there? Because I didn't move it. Yay. So everything is back and good. Now speaking about template, I'm gonna create a new folder, landing page, and inside it I'm gonna create landing page.tsx and an index.ts. And now I'm going to go back to this. I'm gonna grab the entire thing. Well, actually, I'm gonna grab the entire component because I can. Then I'm going to go to landing page, component, and I'm gonna paste it. Yay. Now, blog landing page is a constant, but I can export. Okay. Now this one needs some components. Okay. I hope it's not erroring out or something. Okay, so far not here. Okay. Oh, job dev, nx build blog. Okay. It's working. Yeah, so no error so far. That's cool. So in my template, I have this landing page, which I'm not doing anything about it so far. So let's go from template. And inside template, let's create a new file, index.ts. Grab this one from over here, export it into the first index from landing page, grab that, go into this, export it, go over here, and then blog landing page. And now things should look better, because now I got here everything. That's our component, everything that no longer needs all of this. It just needs a blog landing page from the WowJob UI. Now, blog landing page is expecting to receive a list. So let's give it a list. And the list will be list. That's it. So far, I would say. Now we can do the same inside our index here. And now let's do this as blog and blog landing page comes from WowJob UI. Done. Hopefully it'll work. Okay, it does look like it works. Well, it displays the same thing, man. At least it works. If this would be actually next 13, we would do a different approach with, what do you call them? Layouts. Yeah. In here, we don't really need that. So, what happens when you go on one of them like this? Well, probably I can get some params, right? Somewhere here. Context, console log context dot request probably, and I don't have a response. Okay, and let's see how this one looks like. Okay, so I have a list. They have some context here probably. What's this looking like? Got methods, root, path. Query probably. And I don't need the list. Okay, so in context request query we got slug, which says the Fantastic Four. Okay, so you can grab this slug from context request query. So const slug is coming from there, which means now I should make a request blog to give me just one of them. Blog so far doesn't know exactly how to do that yet. But it should give me just one of them, or at least make one of them more prominent. Okay. So if I'm looking into this list, I can see it's an array, and I can so far filter by slug and get the one that I need. Although when I make the API request, I should just get the one that I need without having to get a list of it and then probably filter it out. So let's see. I'm gonna return the list that filter, and this takes a function, and in this function I'm going to grab item, and then I want to keep only one of them, right? So item.slug needs to be equal to slug, and that gives us just one. And instead of filter, I can do find, and then actually Actually, filter is better because it's a list, and if it's an empty array, it just works. So now this is the fantastic for inside this slug page that, well, does nothing more with this. And now I was looking to this link, if I can do it with link from, not this link. Okay. How about import from next client? Okay. No. Okay. Where's the link coming from? Okay. Next.js link. So it's next link. Probably link comes directly from the next link like that. Okay. href title read more. Hey. Read more about slug. So far, not appropriate wording. The best wording, however, should be okay. And I should not need that. This is the live one. This is the local one. Okay. You can see read more, although this is better in here. Well, actually, it's in everywhere because it's the same component reused. Okay, nice things happen. Read and write data. And maybe I can add a back home somewhere. Let's add another box here. This would be of a different kind. Let's do success and or warning. Okay. It's still green as far as I can see. Or it doesn't do anything. Well, now it's red. Cool. Okay, now I need to wrap those two in another box and make this one gap large and vertical. Now I can see better. And in here, let's do a back home. So far it just is like that. A padding of small. And then back home needs to be a link. So link. Okay, 2 is home. That's the name of it. Well, the label and a title of click here to view top 10 articles. And this not with href. And now we can have back home. It should work. Yeah, it does work. Let me push all those changes, which are quite a lot. Wow. Yeah, because I moved some of them, that's why they look like that. Refactor UI. Landing page and all pages with a reusable template. Yay. So are you doing it? Maybe from here. Yeah, synchronize, which means those changes should now, in a few minutes, be also present on the live site. This one. Right now it's still the old one. We need to wait for the deploy to finish. Yay. Now let's see. I'll take a quick break to see what everybody else is. Well, everybody else is just me and you, because
Yeah.
Vivi moved.
Well, now I'm trying to do the navigation bar in Remix.
The navigation bar in Remix?
Yeah.
Well, why would you
mean,
need
the
it there?
As a component.
I know, but why do you need it in Remix?
Well, because I want to create the portfolio, which will include the blog and everything, and I wanted to have a navigation.
Yes,
bar.
yes, but why not in the multi-project one?
Oh, that's a good question, because I started in the morning in Remix.
I know, that's okay. Remix has an issue so far on some browsers with style components, and that's why we avoid working directly with it until that issue is resolved. And by the way, let me check if anything has happened. So Remix run, get started. Not get started anyway, I wanted GitHub. Okay, so Remix issues. Okay. Now offer filtered by Marian Spurlea. It still says unverified. Doesn't seem that they devote too much attention to this one. Got some replies.
And if I use SCSS, or that's a big...
SAS, you can definitely use SAS. But that's not going to give you the multi-project that I'm doing now. The difference is if you are to work on multiple projects with a different structure than this one, then this library with buttons and boxes and images and whatever, you're going to have to either copy paste it or share it somehow manually between multiple, let's say, websites like the join website and the blog website. And that can be done, although it's done automatically by this one without you having to do it. And that can be done when you know how to do it, how to keep in versions in sync and so on, which is a hassle. Now, the only change is that you place your, let's say, Remix projects or your Next.js projects in here. From the, let's say, choice point of view, I would say let's use both. However, your as you grow in your skills and your understanding, Remix is going to stay behind because Remix is simple and you can't learn more than it already is. Just you learn having more experience on building stuff with it, but the library itself, it's at some point you know all of it, right? Or just enough to of it for it to do your work. Now with Next.js, there is more stuff to learn in terms of the backend side. So we start slowly with both of them, and at some point with Next.js, we're gonna push more of our experience into that side area, as Next.js is quite required on the job market. While Remix, it's nice to have. Some people ask about it, but not as many people as Next.js. So if you have more luck and secure more job offers, I would say it's good to have both of them. However, at some point you want to get better with Next.js, unless Remix picks up and becomes just like React. At some point, React was under Angular, and then it was over it.
Well, that's a good reason to start with a multiple project.
The good reason is not Remix or Next. the good reason is shared library.
Yeah.
Because as far as you see in the blog, I haven't written those components. I just started to make use of them. And suddenly I have something, which by the way should be updated by this time. So let's see. No, there must be an error. Why wouldn't there be an error? Deploys, come on. Well, it says published to 27. Why do I don't see links here? Network visible cache. I don't see links. That's interesting. I know why. Because I pushed to live my changes, and in order to trigger the deploy, I need to be on GitHub and trigger the deploy. So let's try this one. Just for autocomplete, watch job dev, and now create a pull request, new pull request from live to blog. Yay! Create a pull request, and now everything should be picked up. Now let's see, is the deploy happening? Yeah, it says now blog is building. Okay, so probably from now in 1 to 3 minutes we'll see the update live. By the way, this is also my setup. In terms of, you have one project, one monorepository, and inside it you have multiple, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. Let's say you have 10 projects, right? And you might have some rules, let's say set by you, just as I have mine. And so far my rules could be dev is a branch common to all developers, PR to this one. Then I might have a live or main, and this would be production, let's say code. Now the idea is, this is kind of a similar setup. There is a dev and a main. Dev, everybody pushes to it. Main is something that holds the latest version of the working code that has been tested and whatever. Now, because you have 10 projects, whenever you're gonna push some changes to dev or to main, all of those ones will pick up the change, and all of those ones will start to build. Now, if I have 10 projects, how many builds do I have? Like those ones here. When I say builds, it's those ones. See?
Usually.
Yeah, so I should have 10 builds. However, maybe I made a change to one, to something that, let's say, affects only one project. Maybe I made a change that affects all of them or less of them. There is some weird and advanced setup to do this kind of automatically, although I don't really understand one of the processes in that setup in terms of, does it actually make a request, does it actually lose its time in terms of figuring out if it needs to build or not. And I came up with a solution that is quite easy, and you know exactly when it builds. Now, instead of having main for all those 10, I rename main from here to anything else, like blog. It's still main, but it's renamed as blog. Now this main, which would be probably my CV. So this is the new branch of the name. It's not going to be main, it's going to be blog, just like dev. Okay, and then probably in free, I'm going to have whatever activity, well, main, rename to activity. And now what happens is every time I push to dev, there might be a build or not on that dev, but none of those ones will pick it up yet. Now, instead of creating a pull request from dev to main or from dev to live and then all of them to pick it up, I create a pull request from dev to either of those ones. And then in my settings over here for the project, site settings somewhere. So sites, blog, site settings, into build and deploy, you can see that somewhere, where's the branch? Manage repository. There's a setting somewhere I'm trying to show it to you, which is the branch that it pulls from, and it should be called blog. Production branch, see, blog. So that means this one is only watching for changes made to blog, not to main, not to my CV, not to activity, not to dev. So if I manually create a pull request from dev to blog, that's exactly when this is going to build. Now, every time I make a change to dev, instead of launching 10 builders or 20 in the future, I might launch none or just one, because I'm always creating a pull request from dev to each dev, the ones that I want them to be refreshed. As soon as I create that pull request, everything kicks in. I don't need to do anything else. I just need to create the pull request, and then everything kicks in and the website will be deployed. Therefore, this should have now a link. And if it doesn't, it's messed up. It doesn't. Okay, let's look into it. I got blog. It says published. Oh, what about those changes? Where are all those changes? I don't see them. Where are they coming from? Anyway, just a second. Let me see. Okay. Let's add all those changes. Blog with link. Okay, sync changes. Now, in order to kick that in, I need to create a new pull request from live to blog. And I got some changes. View pull request. And merge pull request. Confirm merge. And go back here. Yay. It picked it up. Come on, for the 100th time, look like the local host, right? Nothing else. It's only building blog, by the way, not all of them. Need to understand better those Netlify functions. Somehow I can create them, but not in a way that I can make use of them. Probably, we'll see. So is it done or? It's not done. Okay. Hey. Site is live. Refresh. Again. I hate it. I really hate it. This is just localhost, and it does work. And this is not localhost, and it doesn't work. Somehow it doesn't want to work. Yay! Let me try to understand it better, because it's making fun of me. Okay, I'm on live. Git checkout blog. Git pull. There might be a message from the client. I'll have to chat. So now nx serve blog. Okay. You do look like you have a CSS here, a link here, and you do look like you're working. Why is the live one not working? That's interesting. Okay, next serve blog. This one over here. Why says uploading? Was it not finished? Okay. Were two of them happening or what? Might be two of them, one from dev, one from, and I was looking at a different upload anyway. Let's see. Yay, so links are here. So I was probably looking at a different build. Whenever I push, maybe I push too quickly, and maybe, just a second, come on. Maybe a deploy for dev kicked in. See, live kicked in and then blog kicked in. So probably I was looking at this one. Now it works. I can click on stuff and it, well, it kind of works because it doesn't. No, it's not happy about this link. Why is it not happy about it? I don't know. It says blog. If I go into NX, I build it. So NX build blog, that builds it. Builds it. Okay. Then NX, what else blog? Okay, says build one, serve second, export. What does export do? And test and lint. Okay, let's look into NX export blog. Is it gonna fail? Well, yeah, it failed. Yeah, because it has get server side props, not get static props, whatever. So I can't export it. How about serving it? Because so far it doesn't work. Totally works here, and on the other ones, they are out. And if I am to look into probably functions, I don't see anything. That's gonna be an interesting one to find out why it doesn't work. And when I build it, it's going to be in distribution blog. Export doesn't work, so I've already passed this path, this apps blog next. The rest of it is unknown why it doesn't work. Thank you, nextjs and Netlify, for messing it up for me. Internal server error. Doesn't know how to capture that. Yeah, I don't get much from here. It's just configuration for Webpack probably. Doesn't tell me anything. Next and next. How about if I change this build? I'm not sure if it does work, but maybe it does. So environment, build process, build and deploy. Then I got this tab next, this one, publish directory. No, there's nothing else. Probably because it detects that it's what with next, and somehow it just shows this. Or maybe build, nx build blog and nx serve blog. Okay, let's try rebuilding it. Deploys. Now, if it does work, it's gonna be good. If not, I'm gonna figure it out later. Where are you at with this process, Agnes?
Thinking what you said, and I'm now looking to nextjs because I never used it before.
Okay.
To start again with nextjs instead of Remix.
Well, it's the same thing if you look into pages, see? Got pages, and it's almost the same naming, almost. But not quite, because some of them start with star in Remix and some of them with square brackets in Next. So that's something you can find online, or at least ask us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna take ages when I'm finishing with this project.
This part is the same in Remix and in the other ones, with the exception that in Remix you do here const list equals use action or loader data. That's it. So one receives it in props, one makes use of this to grab the data.
Yeah.
And then this one could be named loader or action, right? And if it's loader or action, it doesn't return this props thing. It just returns the same thing but without props, like that. Now they are the same. That's it. So that would be the small difference when it comes to the beginning of them. Later on, there'll be more differences, but later on you will discover those ones as we make use of them.
Yeah. Well, I think I still don't know Remix as well, but anyway.
That's okay, because Remix is not something we want to know. We want to know how to build components with React and put them together. Remix, Next.js, and the other ones are just wrappers that we get to know them as we use them without focusing to learn Remix or focusing to learn the other ones. But when we need something, we are going to look into the documentation, figure it out in Remix or the other ones, and move on to the next stuff, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Cool. So let me know when you're into this blog, and if, by the way, did you manage to get your API in some sort of returning some type of data?
From Firebase, yeah.
Okay. So then,
when I mentioned the chat app, I did that.
did you manage to deploy your API to Netlify so you can make use of it?
Yeah, I can share if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Give me a second. Sorry, that's the. Yeah. Okay, I placed it in the chat on Discord.
I was on mute. So where did you paste it on Discord?
In the freelance practice chat.
Okay, here. Yay. Somehow I didn't see that notification.
Basically, you can log on or sign in.
Come on. Dun, dun, dun. Needs to confirm it's me. Yay. I'm confirmed and enter chat.
Then you can enter a room name and you can start the chat, and someone else from a different login can chat with you.
Okay. So can you chat with me?
Yeah. So what's the room name?
Nice. Super nice.
Oh,
Yay. Now let's test it out because we can. Okay. So what happens now is that you still have this one here. When you hit enter, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So enter is at the bottom, yes. You might want to play a bit with this one in terms of having this as a max height, whatever the height of the browser allows it to, right? Then
yeah.
probably you want to see this area from over here, just like you see it now, in terms of that much distance probably from the bottom or not, but you want it always at the bottom visible, and probably this and upwards.
Now I'm not seeing your screen, just
You're not seeing my screen? Come on.
just the
No.
visual.
Okay,
studio.
cool.
Yeah.
So I was saying, when you scroll down,
Yeah.
you can notice
Again,
this.
Visual Studio.
It's Visual Studio again. Flip. Okay, I know what to do. I'm gonna move this up. See? Now when I switch to that thing that I'm explaining, it switches up. Okay, I know what to do.
Okay.
So, as I was saying, this thing over here at the bottom is okay in terms of how I see it, but now we have more stuff, right? We look, it's like a lot of it. Well, I'm trying to show you in the same time, but then it switches.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point was, when you're looking now, this should be your list of messages, but not all the way to the bottom, right? Like here. Now, when the browser resizes, this one becomes taller or less taller or higher, but taller or shorter, based on the width and the height of the browser. At the bottom, this should move with the browser. So if you resize it up or move it up, it should move with the browser and always sit at the bottom. The list sits on top of it.
Yeah.
And in order to not worry about it, this list can receive its own scroll bar. So when you scroll inside that list, you can do that with overflow. And it versus overflow X, overflow Y, and then you can give it scroll or not. That's how you can control the scroll behavior of a particular element, just like the scroll bar of the page. So with that said, I think this one needs to have a height, probably 100 viewport height, or 90 or 80%, because then when you resize it, it just resizes the entire thing itself. And I think it looks really awesome so far. Well done.
Thanks.
Do you have questions regarding those, or do you want to do them, or do you have some other
I will
ideas?
do them after I finally start nextjs, hopefully the next hours. Then I will move back to this one to try to refactor
Cool.
those CSS stuff. Thanks for the feedback.
That's nice. Well done. So I think now you and Firebase are no longer, let's say, uh, not knowing each other.
Yeah, at least. But I wouldn't say like I'm good with it.
Well, in time. Yeah. So I got my blog working. I could also quickly start something else, and I might need your help for this, by the way. If I am to go to my API and knowing that I can have a loader which reads data and an action which probably modifies data, create, deletes, updates, right? Now I want to have another one because this is my general API and I have multiple ones over here. This is my blog. And in the future, I might also want to also grab one blog by its own ID, not grab a list of them and then filter it out. So I might do that. However, right now, just for the fun of it, I want to create an API that allows me to read data about myself, and I want to use that data in the website that is going to be my CV. So far I don't plan to change it, to delete it. I just want to read it, and in that data I might have more or less whatever is present in my CV. So my first name, last name, the job that I'm applying for, some links, something that's present in my CV, and I can start with whatever is present in the first page without having to worry about the second and third and so on. So that would be something that I want to do. If I want to read some data for my CV, what would be my next steps in this, let's say, API from API project built with Remix?
God, you asking me?
Yeah. Well, you can also
You
say
want
I
to
don't
read
know,
the
but
data.
come again?
If you want to read the data, you mean?
Yeah, I already have the data. I just want to call this API, and this API should return me data that I can make use in my next project, my CV.
Well, you need to basically connect together your Firebase with your
Yeah.
project,
And then,
which you can do that. What I've done, I created a config file,
okay.
Firebase config file, and then I put my
I'm already
API.
reading from Fire. See, I'm already doing blog, so I could add to blog, remove from blog, well, update it. That's what we've done, right?
Or you just want to read it.
Yeah, I just want to read. And so far, I've created, let's say, different ways of interacting with the API here. So I want to read data. What would be my next step? And the data should be about my CV, not about the blog.
I don't know.
That's okay. See, over here I have an API for Stripe, one for Panda, one is a default one for blog. For Panda, if I want to do something about a particular document, this is how I do it with dollar. And when I capture doc ID of whatever ID was present in the request. And now if I want to create one for my CV, I can create a new file and I can name it my CV like that, .jtsx, or just CV because it looks nice. It's mine anyway. So that's CVTSX, right? Now,
Yeah.
we know that we have action and loader that we can make use of, or at least Remix can make use of if we instruct Remix what to do even. Which one do you think is for reading and which one for changing?
The action is for changing, no?
Okay, so which one would I use, action or loader to read?
Loader, no?
Okay, so let's remove action and let's do export const loader, and this is the function. So far we are good with it. Now let's return an empty object, and now it already works. It doesn't do anything, by the way. It does something, but not much more than that. So if we are to run this in our local host, yarn dev, and it started on 3002, it means it was already run at some point somewhere. That doesn't matter. So 3002 gives me this. However, I want CV, so I need to add /CV, because that's exactly how I would do to enter the page CV, with the exception that this one doesn't return a page because it has no component. It just returns empty object.
Yeah.
Or maybe not empty. Okay. See? Cool. And I can also do more stuff. Hopefully. Not sure if it does do it. However, let's try it. List 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's cool. And that should be it anyway. Now loader needs to return me data about myself, right?
Yeah.
So I could actually construct it here. My data. And let's do just name, because it's all of
So
them.
your
Well,
picture
yeah.
is basically hiding some of the Visual Studio
Okay.
code that you're writing.
That's cool to know. Hey. You. Give me a second. No, should be fine, right?
Probably I said this too late. Sorry.
That's okay. So I got my data. What else could I have? A job title?
Yeah.
Senior, I want to be here. Web developer. Although I don't care about the title, it's just a way for recruiters to recognize something over here. Okay, so that's my data, and I want to return it. My data, that's it. And now I can see it. Now I might also have a description probably, or what is it about me? Or summary, right? Yeah. Then I'm also might have, let's say, experience, which could be an array of different things. An experience could be a job you had, so maybe job title again, web developer, start date or date with a start and an end, and currently work here, false. Okay, start date 2016, the month of 44 and the day of 900, because I'm crazy. 2022 12 12. That day doesn't need to exist, but not. I'll correct it later. Cool, so I got an experience, which could be more than this, because it's a job title, the date, then it might have some info, not entirely sure, but could be a list of strings, a paragraph where I can share my victories and how I helped my client shine. Okay, and could be another one. Speak about how I managed to position my client in top 3 players on the market, crushing the competition. Yay! So now this could be something I might say. Definitely not those words, just making something up. So that's a job title, it's a date. It might also have a skill set, right? So skill. Okay, and this skill could be an array of skills that I've used, probably HTML, CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, and so on. I'll figure them out later. Now, if I duplicate this quickly, I can get another experience. This be engineer, UI engineer, different date with a different month and a different date. Well, not that different. And here probably 07 and 03. Yay. So this is my data and I'm returning it. So this is how it looks like. It can get more complex in the future. However, let me quickly make a commit to this. And my API actually deploys a lot faster. So let's see. A commit with my CV get API working. Probably. Did I test it? Well, yeah, this is it. So it does work. Okay, commit. And once I press sync changes, we'll quickly switch to this to see the difference between Remix and the other stuff. So API has picked it up now, my push. And let's see how much time it takes until it finishes everything. Well, of course, it's just a simple API. It shouldn't take that much, but I just feel like the other one is a lot slower. Because I also use this one with more than just an API. The entire website that used to be there, right? The previous version that I replaced 2 days ago. So, yeah, now it's almost done. Yay. Site is live, which means API.whatjob.cv. And now I get it. It's also deployed. You might not have this custom domain like I have, but you might have a naming from Netlify. Like you can make use of something over here. It gives you an automatic name that you can, to a certain degree, name it similar to something that represents you.
Yeah.
The blog is still building. Wow. Anyway. This is API and this is blog over here. Is it still building or what does it take so much? Actually it is. It says ready on localhost. That's why it says it's still building, because it never stopped. Because that thing doesn't work that I tried. Okay, go to deploy details, cancel deploy, deploy settings, edit settings. Yeah. I don't really know why Remix does, why Next.js doesn't really work with this deploy. I don't really know exactly. Cancel deploy. Yes, cancel deploy. Delete deploy. Delete. Deploy settings. And now I've started a new deploy. Yeah. I need to get better at these things with Netlify and so on, because it's taking a lot of time just to look at those deploys happening and hoping they don't fail. So far, this shouldn't fail, but the links are not working. Doesn't matter if it's working, but not in any, not as expected fully. And next serve blog. The localhost doesn't complain. Just works. The live one does complain. Dev. Could still be the old one because it might not be finished. But anyway. Dun, dun, dun.
And all these projects are on GitHub at Workjob. This one,
So all of them are on GitHub. There are two of them, one for the API and one with all the other front ends.
But I try to find now. I can't see it.
And I need to give you access to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the idea was at some point I had those config files, right? Like the AMV ones. And then, but it's not API, but anyway, it should work similar way. So this API, and then I created just Converse Entry server now, server, Firebase server. Okay, so now let's see. It's almost. New credential service account. Yeah, the idea is at some point you might use the Firebase admin, let's say library to connect to Firebase. At some point, the one from the front end, which is just Firebase. Now, the one from the front end might react different to the same data when you attach rules to it, which Firebase admin doesn't really care because its admin can read any data. So if you start with Firebase and you play around like you're doing right now, you have probably a table where you store your chats, right?
Yeah.
And then you're connecting to that table and you're doing on snapshot. And on snapshot, you're looking into if there are more changes and then probably updating your state with those changes, like add more to it, more messages, and then the front end reacts and sees what I've typed and what you've typed, right? Now, if you want to protect that data, in terms of adding a rule that says only some people could do this, right? If you're authenticated or the user, that on snapshot fails instantly. You can no longer read using on snapshot if you have anything we read and write. However, the same data can be read with admin firestore as long as you can have the correct credentials, which you should, because why not? It's your project. So with each one, you can read all the data and then maybe even do something before it reaches front end. Maybe it reads 100 properties and only return 2 or 3 of them. You can do that on the back end. While at the front end, when you make a request to Firebase, it sends that request. If you can get the data, it sends you back all the data, not just some of it. So pros and cons. It's not one better than the other. It's based on your intention or on the requirements. One could fit better or the other. So let's see now. My loader gives me this data back, but it doesn't require Firebase so far, unless I want to store this data into Firebase. And it already gives it to me in that API. And I'm making use of only one API to serve 2 websites. So far, I have a landing page website and a blog website. Both of them make use of the same, let's say, shared project. Different API requests. One is for blog, one is for, join and whatever, logins and logouts. And that would be the difference. This one still gives me an error. Maybe if I try to give it a page, maybe this global one doesn't catch it. Or at least Google something about it. Because I can't really have it like this. It's okay right now, but... Okay, so... netlify next dynamic route catch all. You cannot define a route with the same specificity as. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. So full of nothing. So this one captures me book ID. Well, like I can use router here, but this on the front end. I don't need it on the front end. I need it on the back end. So this is something that I've done like this. Yeah, this is what I've done here. Well, nothing here. This is API. Come on, Marian. Blog, pages. Yeah, this log TSX. Mm-hmm. Well, this is what I have. That's index, and that's the other one. Catch all routes. Double. Okay, let's try this one. Yay, broke. It broke again. Okay. New folder. Not that. New folder. What's going on? I want to create a new folder. Article. Slug. Move inside. Move. How about now? Okay. So I got this one. Localhost 4200. This one doesn't go to the correct one because I'm not pointing it to. Okay, there's a link here. Article/slug. Okay, now it's pointing to the correct one. I'm gonna make a deploy and hopefully see if now, what they call it, Netlify is happy. articles into article subfolder. Yeah. Now I made the change directly to blog, which I shouldn't have, but anyway, it's not a big of an issue because I can always make a pull request back to dev. Okay. Compare and pull request from blog to live because I don't have dev yet. Okay, merge pull request, confirm merge, Control C, git checkout, dev, git what? Live. Git pull. Tam. Let's wait for this to deploy and we should see the changes back again. And test out if our website this time works live or not in a few minutes once the deploy finishes. If it doesn't, I'm gonna look into those pages later on why they don't work on the deploy and focus more on the UI to better improve it for both blog, probably my CV, and the landing page. Not happy about this thing not working all the time. So this is blog, right? Okay. And it's still not working. Yay. Hopefully somebody's watching on YouTube and maybe they can give us some pointers why nextjs wouldn't work directly on Netlify to just publish this. I know I can export it, but is that something I want to do? Maybe. Let's see. Pages. And I got article. An article says get server side props. How about I keep that and I do get static props. So get static props is probably the same. Probably. However, this one needs another one. Export const get static paths. It's a function that returns something. Okay, not entirely sure what. Next, just get static paths. Okay. So basically I need a paths and a fallback. Well, it's not actually the same. Get static props. Oh, okay, so get static props. Yeah, I named it correctly. Cool. So get static paths is this one. Return. It's an object that has paths, which is an array, and then fallback as false. And in here, I need stuff like params. Then params looks like ID1, ID something. Okay. Then there's another params with another ID. But there's another params as a separate object, not like that. Okay. Yay. Now, those IDs can come from the database actually. And this is where they can come from. Okay. And then get side paths. Let's do it async. Now I have the list which has a lot of slugs in it. And that would be my ID. So this is actually now going to be the list dot map, and I'm going to grab an ID, hopefully slug, then return a new object with params ID slug. Yay, this will be it. Now if I'm to run in a second. Okay, so if I'm to run the export thing, yarn, not yarn, nx export blog. Let's see, does it fail again? Yes, it does. A required parameter slug was not provided because I don't have ID slug, I just have slug. Okay, that's cool. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, and now it failed again. A parameter slug, this is params. It says slug. How about we construct the list? Okay. I can see slug in there. I can see all of them. Maybe this path is not correct. Okay, it's an lie. It has an object with params. Then, okay, maybe it needs ID and slug. Let's try again. I really don't get it. Okay. Let me get it now, probably. Hopefully. Okay, paths, params, ID, it has slug, it has everything. Return object. Okay. this is something extra anyway. As extras, nextjs decided to give some extra stuff to us. Am I not doing exactly like it wants? This is article slug. Maybe it needs to be slash article slash. I wonder. If, well, maybe it is. Okay, slug is slash article slash. I just need to look at more examples. Something is off in my mind or in their mind, something like that is really, really off. The static paths example. Just takes 100 billion times of my time, whatever. Still the same thing. Okay, that's it. I take the join. That's cool. That's what I've done. That's interesting. Let's do this maybe. Maybe it wants this. Who knows? Still fails. Yeah. It's getting on my nerves now. Because I'm already doing this. Maybe the paths are not written correctly. Well, it's return paths and fallback. That's what it says. Maybe this needs props like that. And then everything inside it. Maybe. Who knows? No. It's not happy. Okay. Okay, so it must be a full path as far as I can see. It says paths. Or either a string variant or an object. Params, slug. That's what I've done. Maybe it only needs slug and not the ID. That's why it was complaining. And that return was correct. So I don't need props here. Yeah. Cool. So this, but I've done that before with just slug and it didn't work. Dun, 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 dun. It's like we don't speak the same language. Params. That's it. That's params. And it's an array. And then there's fallback. Maybe that was affecting in any way. I ran out of ideas. Thank you, nextjs, for being super awesome. How about if I just send a string? Maybe it works with that. So paths is just a string. Okay. The string would be slash article slash. Okay, let's try now. Maybe this one doesn't need two of them now. Maybe that was it. Well, something else happened. Host. Well, the export doesn't work anyway, so. Article super duper things. Params. Slug. So this one doesn't work properly here. I don't see it any other way. Marian, take a break. This gets static paths. It gets cold anyway, so I don't need to do anything else. It just doesn't work, and that's what I can call it. Because it's not like I'm doing anything bad about it. This is slug. It is what it is. Its name is slug. So if I return the paths directly, the string, then this one works to a certain degree that it provides a different error, but it doesn't export it. Yeah. That's interesting. Maybe now it works. If I go to this page and it didn't work before, let me try. Try. Wow, doesn't even let me write it. It's something I really wanted. I wanted to look at this bar going from this side to this side with no purpose in life. That's definitely my dream. What's going on? How about if I quit you and I start again? Because I'm not gonna wait forever until you do what? A commit? Okay. So, yarn surf blog. Or actually, get status. Changes to be committed. NX probably. NX surf blog. Marian, can you get off that game right now? Right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. There you go, what? Did you notice that I have something on the screen? No.
Oh yeah.
I have some client work over there. I don't want you to mess it up right now with your games.
Wait, are you recording?
Okay, so because I did get static, whatever, get server no longer works now. Get static. Oh, nextjs is some trouble. Now this one works, it doesn't on the web. Unless I try it again, which shouldn't, because why? And then enjoy the bitterness that Next.js 13 offers me in terms of doing simple stuff. Yay, Next.js 13. Thank you for reminding me that you're not that good. Definitely not that good. It's too much praise for it. I mean, I follow the same things that you're saying, and you're not working. That makes you a bad framework. However, it's full of them, so. Yeah, I just need to wait and see if that works. I cannot really focus right now anymore on anything because the deployments are not working as expected. I'm looking at a page that works on localhost. I'm looking at a page that doesn't work on localhost. Welcome to the world of dealing with this kind of scenarios. And then instead of focusing on actually building the UI itself and more other stuff, I need to fix Netlify, fix Next.js, which are bad if I need to fix their services that I'm paying for, whatever.
What is your preferred framework?
One that works. I don't really care about the name of it. It's just sometimes it's too much. It's too much. I've been through errors, 100 errors every single day for the last 4 months. I kind of got tired of it. I just want to see less errors. Anyway, get static paths was supposed to build me just like a pack starter. Was supposed to build me the HTML a header request, so pre-build it. Now get static paths decided to say, well, I do not know how to actually interpret data that you're sending it to me, because today nextjs is no longer gonna do any get static paths or props or whatever. So what? Can't do much about it. Props, post. That's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. Post one, see? This is what I've done. But apparently it doesn't work. Maybe there was a letter misspelled, but I should have seen that error. I was seeing the collection of the array with objects, with params, and with slug, and with ID, without ID, without slug. I've seen it in many ways. It still failed. That's the thing. It still failed. Anyway, let's go do something else, which is probably work on my other stuff, because right now the blog works in terms of reading the blog, at least the landing page, blog.wowjob.dev. This one reads the blog. It doesn't go to the correct path. Well, it does go to the correct path, but it shows me a 500 internal server error because for whatever reason I decided to have a server error. Well, I didn't. Netlify decided. Now, in order to kind of catch that thing, I don't even know where I should look, because I have some functions to look in here. They shouldn't have anything to do with me, because I even don't want those functions. But okay. So nothing. There is something. Cannot destructure property slug of context request query as it is undefined. Really? Okay. So what am I doing with slug here? Well, actually, I don't need slug here. Or do I? Because let's get server-side props. Yes, I do. Okay, so I need it here to filter the list. Okay. Let me push this. Fit. Blog should not error out on slug anymore. 3 minutes later, we'll figure it out. Over here. Once that deploy works. So it was kind of my fault that I couldn't see it quickly. That slug could be empty somehow here. And the deploy is not happening because I'm live and I'm waiting for nothing. /wowjob /wowjob dev job dev pull request new pull request, live to blog, create, update, create, and merge pull request, and give it some time. While this one deploys, and hopefully it allows us to look at this and makes me a bit happier because I can focus now on the data and on the UI, not on actually a page not working. That gives us in a better position. And by the way, in the future, I plan those articles to either be coming from my own ideas or from the questions that we worked on in terms of whoever joins YouTube or whichever lives we are going to do. Grab some questions from there and convert them into articles as long as they present some good value for ourselves, for whoever asked about it. That's why I want to do this blog. Is this one deploying? Yes. And I can see live and blog, both of them. Tum, 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 tum. Wow, job. By the way, this is our job, and should create another video.